So it's looking like Keith Thurman will fight Manny Pacquiao in July. I think it's a good fight. Thurman, we know, has had issues with injuries and long layoffs and stuff like that over the past couple of years. Manny Pacquiao is well past his best, but he's still relatively dangerous. He still has a certain level of ability. I personally have been convinced all along that Keith Thurman is going to win this fight. I know a lot of people were not impressed with Thurman's last performance against Lopez, but styles make fights. Lopez applied a lot of pressure. Manny Pacquiao isn't a pressure fighter. Manny Pacquiao has actually turned boxer a little bit later on in his career. He still drops people. He still tries to go for people with a big left hand. We saw that against Lucas Matisse, but Matisse has seen better days himself. Keith Thurman is much fresher than that. And although he has been riddled with injuries and long layoffs, he's still got legs for 12 rounds. Again, we saw that against Lopez. So I personally think that this is Keith Thurman's fight to lose. One thing I did see was, I think it was Mark Breland, and he was mentioning the fact that Keith Thurman throws wide shots, and that might actually play into Manny Pacquiao's hands. And I can actually see that. Yeah, the wide shots could be to Manny Pacquiao's advantage. And Keith Thurman, when was the last time he fought a southpaw? He fought a few southpaws in his career. I remember he fought Carlos Quintana. He fought, God, I can't remember all the southpaws that Keith Thurman has fought. You guys jog my memory in the comment section below. But will he be as effective against the southpaw as he normally is against an orthodox fighter? Maybe he'll be more effective. You know, one of the things about southpaws is the battle of the straight right hand versus the straight left hand, and the orthodox fighter dealing with a southpaw jab. Manny Pacquiao's always had an active jab, but it's not a stinging jab. It's more of a placeholder for the big left hand to come in. Although again, I say active jab, he's more active with his jab these days relative to the number of left hands he throws than he used to be. So he might not throw more jabs now than he did 5 years ago, but what I'm saying is the ratio of jabs to left hands, there's probably more jabs in that ratio now than there is left hands. Whereas back in the days, it was probably pretty close between the jabs and the left hands. So Pacquiao boxes a lot more now. I'm not sure whether that jab will cause Keith Thurman too many issues, to be honest. Maybe it will. We'll see. The left hand, if he hits Thurman with it, he can definitely hurt him. But I'm sure Thurman can hurt Pacquiao too with the right hand or the left. Yeah, Thurman can punch with both hands. He's no Tommy Hearns type puncher. And this nickname that he's got one time is, you know, maybe not the most appropriate nickname, because who's he knocked out with one punch in his career at championship level? Nobody. He can punch, but he's not a historically great puncher. But I do feel that his legs, his athleticism, his ambidextrous punching, his youth, etc., should see him through to victory against Pacquiao. At the end of the day, Jeff Horn tried to stick a move against Pacquiao, and he came up with a victory. And I personally felt like Jeff Horn deserved to win. There were people saying that Pacquiao was robbed, this, that, and the other. Look, it was a close fight, but I personally don't think there was any robbery, and I can't complain about a Jeff Horn victory. If Jeff Horn is beating you, and this was, you know, a couple years ago now, I don't see why Keith Thurman, even though Thurman might be a little shop-worn himself, I think Pacquiao is even more shop-worn. So I don't see why Keith Thurman won't be able to go one better than a Jeff Horn and beat Pacquiao on points as well, more convincingly than Horn did. Although some people might say Pacquiao underestimated Horn and he'll be a lot more motivated and on point for Thurman, possibly. But yeah, I just feel Keith Thurman's going to win the fight on points. Let me know what you guys feel in the comment section below. In fact, let me have a look at the poll that I did on my channel and see who you guys have got ahead. Okay, most people are picking Thurman on points, which is my pick, 36% of you. But not far behind that, Pacquiao on points with 33%. After that, Thurman got by KO 16, then Pacquiao by KO 13, draw technical decision 2%. So pretty close, really, as far as this poll goes. In fact, let me refresh it and see if it's changed any. Yeah, it's changed slightly. Okay, now Pacquiao on points is the most popular vote. Okay, so we have seen some change here. Pacquiao on points is 3% ahead of Keith Thurman on points. So it seems like the boxing world are pretty divided on this fight. It's almost 50-50 in terms of who you guys think is going to win. Interesting. Again, I can see why, because of Thurman's layoffs and his injuries, and because of that Lopez performance. But again, styles do make fights. Pacquiao's never been a pressure fighter. He's always been kind of like an in-and-out explosive guy. And back in the days, he used to be a workhorse. He used to throw so many punches, use his legs, confuse you with the in-and-out movement and rattle off combinations and hurt you. He's not really that guy anymore. He's a lot more cagey. And he gives you the opportunity to outwork him, actually. Jeff Horn would probably be an example. So, look, I'm certainly not saying Manny Pacquiao's got no chance. I see it maybe 60-40 in Keith Thurman's favor. Something like that. That's just my view. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.